Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice 8.52. Well, let's continue this. We are watching the march towards war with us. Good, got rid of those rebels. And we're also watching what looks to be the faltering of the Republicans in Spain. Okay. This event, King Carl II in London, is one of the events from TRE that you normally don't see. This was contributed by Vlad Virgil, our Romanian contributor to the mod. I hope he gets well. He's facing a bit of a health problems, so we hope he gets well and everything. Okay, well, the King of Romania visited our country along with his heir. He wanted guarantees of protection against any foreign aggression, insisting that the Hungarian revisionism, or insisting that about, and asked that we could loan his or if we could asked if we could loan his government, make a loan to his government, I believe it should say. In the face of our own difficulties, we decided to give him an evasive answer, prompting him to try and reach an accord with Nazi Germany. Those are, that's a Romanian newspaper headline of his visit and some photos of his visit to London. The intention was to try to code it so that Britain could give some economic loans, give him some, guarantee his nation, like, I guess to some degree, like what we've done with Poland here. I decided against that, mostly because it's a German-based mod, and I don't want the AI to do that. It is, as they said, it was definitely facing a, Romania wanting the Second Vienna Award, wanting this territory, as well as the Soviet pressure, and Britain just wasn't. Now you might think, oh well, of course, but Britain just, the levels of what he was asking for wasn't just purely a defensive alignment. And as you can see, I've added a light infantry division I want to send to the Far East here, but we're barely building what we need to build. So it's something that if I were to recode, when I recode this for a British player, I very well may give Britain some options here. But what also would have to happen is if we recode it, I got to recode the whole Vienna Award system, because it would shut that down, and that was sort of not like, oh well, yes, we can make them allies like this, but then I'd have to, I know I'm explaining my coding viewpoints and things, so I have to recode a whole bunch of stuff to make it all flow, and that's just a bit more than I was willing to do for an event that I was always going to have the AI say no to, and I wasn't coding it for the human player. Like we were saying before, that there was, I made a little bit of the stuff, but events that set very much at this time, that Britain was trying to negotiate with the Soviets to have the Soviets, support limiting Germany's expansion, basically counteracting the Ribbentrop, because Ribbentrop, they were both going at the same time. Both Ribbentrop was negotiating with Molotov, and the British were negotiating, I don't know with Molotov, but with other, in Russia, were negotiating with other Soviet Foreign Office officials or somebody at the same time. And that's another whole big event chain code, that if it happens, it blocks the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, and doesn't put the Soviets in faction allies, but does, like I say, block any Soviet aggression against Poland, and really squeezes Germany in, and it's something that, really changed. It really was a lot that isn't going to happen, because, again, the Soviets were demanding stuff that I don't think the British would give in, but I would let a human player say yes. The AI would always say no, because I'm sort of not going off on wacky, well, what if they did this and have the AI? What if Britain got upset with America and decided to bomb New York City, or shell New York City from battleships? Well, yeah, what if? Now, if you're running Britain and you want to declare war on the U.S., and you can meet whatever, like in Hearts of Iron 4, you've seen in one of the World War Wednesdays, I'm sure, war justification things, sort of a mechanism brought out of the EU series, I believe. So if you want to go through that process and declare war against the U.S., you can do that as the human player to take it down a unhistorical path. I don't want, in the focus of my mods, to have the AI do wacky things. This isn't wacky, defending Romania, who had been I would say, staunch ally in World War I of the Allies, and had a significant pro-Western viewpoint, in some ways more than some of the other countries around it. That's why Romania here is sort of at its biggest, because it had gotten a little bit of Bulgaria, expanded here, I believe, against what had been Tsarist Russia, though I don't exactly remember where the border with Tsarist Russia. Got a bunch of land from the old Austro-Hungarian Empire that, of course, Hungary wants a bunch of that back, so that they could be a firm ally of the Allies, Britain and France, but their demands were a bit too much to get them in, and I don't know if I remember any of the details that I was looking at, what they were asking, but it was a bit much. So I don't have a yes option. So this disrupts our relations with them. Oh, that may also be coded a bit funny, because it should be relations with Romania are disrupted by 5. Not a big deal. Okay. And we have a new strategic resource, which is a new industrial center. But there were all these things going on, and I only watched some of the World War Wednesday. I'll talk about it here briefly. Dealing with Hungary, playing the Hearts of Iron 4, and it was like the second 2 episodes, so I didn't see all the first ones. But from what I understand, they did, and I, like I said, didn't watch it all. It was totally unrealistic what they did. Czechoslovakia, Romania, and Yugoslavia formed what they called the Little Entente. A little bit somewhat backed up by France, but not too strong of guarantees or anything. And they kept, early on in the early 20s, like 1920, 1921, any Habsburg claimant to the Hungarian throne from coming back. And forget who it was that he come back in trying to gain support. Hungary maybe somewhat, but they were all threatening to invade, so the Hungarians forced him out of the country, basically just kicked him out, not because they didn't like, and remember this part here was all Czechoslovakia, and a lot of that was Czechoslovakia too, so Hungary was even smaller than this. Not that there was a big anti-monarchist movement at the time, because it was the Kingdom of Hungary, but they were afraid of this Hungarian revisionism or revanchism, or other terms that you would want to use for it, of reforming the Hungarian territories within the Austro-Hungarian Empire, whether which would include, as they did in the World War Wednesday, territories that weren't ethnically Hungarian, because the Hungarians, along with the Germans of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, sort of had a carved-up program that both of those ethnic groups ruled other ethnic groups. So they had a defensive agreement that only started to break down really in 1938, with Germany pushing very hard after they got Austria, which obviously Hungary wouldn't have happened if Hungary had already taken Austria back, and if Germany isn't strong enough to be pushing on Czechoslovakia hard, Czechoslovakia would have been firm in it. So any sort of move in any of these directions would have had these three countries crushing them. As it was falling apart in 38, actually before, I think it was maybe in 34 they started, which was sort of an overlapping, was the Balkan Entente, and that was Romania, Yugoslavia, same two countries there, but also Greece and Turkey against Bulgaria, because Bulgaria had been a Central Powers member. Like we said, they had lost some territory here. I don't know if they lost or how much, because I just don't know the border exactly for the pre-World War I border with Yugoslavia, and they had also lost a little bit of territory in here that Bulgaria wanted back, and there were so this was and Bulgaria has long hated Turkey, so Turkey was involved in this too, and they had agreements set up that limited Bulgarian armament levels, rearmament ability, size of their army, other things, I don't know the details. And so that this was another attempt to close in a potential expansionist power here that would have stopped, I don't know how much Turkey would have gotten involved in stopping Hungary from, even though Hungary had been a Central Powers, but they sort of changed their outlook with Ataturk. Would have been working to stop the invasion of Yugoslavia, say, but definitely Romania would have immediately jumped in just on the Balkan Entente, and I would also see quite likely Greece worrying about that as well. So you had these two overlapping sets of alliances to check two former Central Power countries that would have stopped that, so that their during this time, and there were other ones going on. Also, maybe a little earlier than now. It was after this, the original. Yeah, it was after the original Sudeten um, land. Germany and France signed a non-aggression pact. That they, had that, and that they weren't going to be aggressive against each other, and that they agreed upon the current borders. There was going to be no pressure by either one of the side to change this border here. Well, obviously it wasn't worth much, but what it did do was, at that time, and there wasn't really any, to my knowledge, I haven't seen much propaganda going on Germany's part to get back the territories that they had lost, that were part of Alsace and Lorraine here, that they had lost in World War I, that did have a significant German or Germanic ethnic minority in there, that they weren't going to be pushing any of that anymore, and they didn't. They obviously reincorporated the territories once they defeated France again, but they weren't pushing like they were pushing in Poland. So there's all these treaties going on, and there were also similar things going on with the Balkan states, with Sweden, that Germany was trying to get these non-aggression pacts, and trying to, they were pushing for territories in Memel, but trying to say that, oh, well, we're not going to be expansionist against you people. And all that, from Germany's aspect, was to isolate, because it was coming at the time that they were getting ready to go after Poland, was to isolate Poland so that these other countries wouldn't feel obligated or feel under pressure, because they were putting pressure on Poland to feel pressure that well, we're next kind of thing, because no, we've got a treaty, and Germany, is a good guy, and they've agreed that this is what they want, and they're only pushing here. So these types of things were going on that would limit what I'm afraid a lot of Hearts of Iron 4 players want to see in a freewheeling, let's pick Slovakia as a country and conquer the world in 10-year BS. I mean, yeah, if you want to play that game, I'm happy for you. You can play any game you want. You got like Stellaris, which looks like a really cool Space Empires game that's very flexible, and it's very dynamic, and it's all speculation on what may be out in space. Okay, and that, like I say, that's really cool. And if you want to play Europa Universalis Hearts of Iron 20th Century game, that's cool too. You can start whatever settings at 1900, at 1914, at 1920, 1936, and just have a 100-year game that's world conquest and whatever. If that's the game you want to play, I'm happy for you. And it can be a very fun game, and it can be very challenging. I could see, picking a major country at one of those stages and playing with a bunch of friends and see who can win, or a bunch of enemies, just people you don't know on the internet. It can be a fun game, but that is not the game I'm looking to play. Excuse me. As parts of Hearts of Iron, I'm looking at playing the 1936 to 1945. Obviously, we can extend the war if you want, but if there isn't a conclusion. But the political and military struggles of that period as they happened. Not as they happened in the sense that we must go to war in late 39 against Poland. No, but let's play within the realities. If Germany wants to wait till 42, fine, because Germany's the main pushing element on this. If Germany decides to, I don't know, work to befriend Poland, okay, they can do that, but Poland, work within the historically plausible realities of the period. That is the game that I want to play. And like we're seeing here, I'm happy if once in a while the Spanish Republic wins, because they could have won. Not under the conditions as they existed, because there was just too much Italian and German aid, in my opinion, and a more disciplined nationalist military side versus, and we've talked about in the past, the fractures within the Republican military side, that were seeking their own advantages, and to some degree, particularly I believe the Soviets very much, would rather lose the war than see a Trotskyite Soviet or communist, maybe Soviet wouldn't be the appropriate term, but to see a Trotskyite communist victory. So that, there's, the Soviets weren't doing it for the benefit of the Spanish people, they were doing it for the benefit of the Soviet Union, and, so it was a bit cynical in their involvement. But I'm fine with things like that, because we could say, oh well, the Soviets had 5,000 extra volunteers and sent them 100 more tanks and 200 more aircraft, and that would have turned the tide. Okay, fine. And those are reasonable, historically plausible. Now, sending a Soviet corps or two, not just international brigade volunteers that all happen to be from the Soviet Union or Russia or whatever, but with some of the mechanisms that are going on that are a bit overdoing it, in my opinion, that might overplay the Soviet hand, might be a bit much, but so long as it's within something that was, because once you start seeing Soviet corps show up, you're going to start seeing France and Britain getting very interested in what's going on, meaning that they're going to have their half-hearted attempts at enforcing international neutrality and trying to block foreign intervention in Spain would have become much more serious at that point. So with that type of thing, I'm very willing to to say have the war take a bit of different path, but I don't want it to be. I want it to be based in the realities of the period. I guess that's the game I want to play, whether it's Hearts of Iron 3 or Hearts of Iron 4. Okay, enough of that rant. Okay, civil defense has advanced. That's good. That means we get to rebuild factories faster, as well as other things that make it bombed. Well, let's see, I'm looking for more 38. I know we're getting towards the end of 38 here, which is worrying me. We're heading towards the war, and I don't feel prepared yet as Britain. Oh, we can increase on the car designs, that'll be helpful. And self-sealing fuel tanks, that will help our fighters out considerably. That was that one. Okay, drop tanks and others are too far ahead. Armor plating. Yeah, we want to do that. We know it's a 39 tech. So it's a delicate balance of international relations, and there's a lot to know about what was going on then, and I have a bit of a, because I think this is all from the the original game. Independence guaranteed by the U.S. I believe that's in the original Hearts of Iron 3 stuff. So they understood the Monroe Doctrine, and the U.S. not accepting... U.S. would have accepted, say, Peru conquering Ecuador or something. Not that they would have been pleased, not that they might have tried to diplomatically or otherwise intervene to, say, protect Ecuador. I'm just using two nations that don't have a major strategic... we've talked earlier about Panama, that they would have done a lot about Panama, but something like this, or Bolivia trying to get the corridor to the sea or something like that. They might have been concerned about it, but they wouldn't have majorly sent in U.S. Army divisions in to stop that. But the game mechanics doesn't quite allow, say, well, Peru can invade Ecuador, but Britain can't, or Japan can't, or something like that. So the developers know and understand that existed. I don't know, really, quite honestly, how much they know about, and there's probably more than I know about, but and I definitely learned more about, especially when I was looking into Bulgaria. I knew that there was the Little Entente here going on, but found out about the Salonika Agreement, which allowed Bulgaria to start rearming, and then basically brought them to some degree into the Balkan Entente, because they were starting at that time to be more fearful of the Soviets, and this is in 38, more fearful of the Germans now, because remember, this was Romania, Yugoslavia, Greece, and Turkey. And in 38 they were pushing, they got Austria, they were pushing on Czechoslovakia, so that the Czech part of the older Little Entente against Hungary was falling apart, and so that they were being faced by these outside threats, they wanted to bring them into this. Now, of course, this falls apart with greater German pressures, but they were trying to do stuff like this. So all these things was a delicate balance, because, like I say, why didn't Portugal just invade Albania? They could have taken it. Portugal was a national/fascist country. It's sort of somewhat teetering on that balance, in my opinion. But, if they just wanted to be aggressive and gain extra territories, there was some easy power they could knock down. Well, it was because Italy would have intervened, or, not that Italy had a specific defense treaty. They didn't, to my understanding, with King Zog, but Mussolini was eyeing it, and so if somebody's going to take it, it was going to be Mussolini, kind of thing. And so that it's all a delicate balance that I think that either they don't understand or they don't just know all about. Okay, so again, I went back to that rant. Okay, fighter, machine gun types. Okay, we have large caliber cannons. We have machine gun cannon combo, which I guess we'll do. Getting close enough. I want my fighters to be very good. See, I see all this as sort of like somebody might see written music. It's all or like a 6 or 8 way balance thing that is all these different factions and elements are balancing and counterbalancing with each other. Improved security units, great. That should help a bit with some of my revolts. Now, if they're all just up here, yeah. Event given, they're still going to happen, but some of them help speed and other things and attack levels. And ammunition capacity advance, which that is, I believe, fighters. Yeah, let's convert over to that because that helps out some of our flying boats and naval bombers. Yeah, I'm seeing this and I'm not liking that. I'm thinking here. Okay, because I'm thinking, yeah, what I want to do is by now I've already had 2 more ICs, excuse me, in production, but I'm looking at this clock here, and when these go out of production, effectively they'll give me 10 more ICs, which will pay for this unit here and fully get these things rolling. But I just don't know that I have time to continue to improve my industry. And if I were to build more steel mills at this time, here it's going to, well, steel up here, it's going to take away more ICs that I just don't think I have. So let's see, can I sell oil to somebody? Costa Rica. They're at a balance point. France. For trade agreement. Let's see if we can sell some. Well, I've got not enough money. Okay. We sell oil to Germany. They have money? No. Hungary, do they have money? They've got money. They've got a deficit of crude oil. No. Japan. Now, one of Japan's reasons for going to war was oil. They don't like us enough. They don't have money. Philippines is a puppet. So is Slovakia. Spanish state. We don't like them, so we're not going to. Venezuela should have. Well, maybe they weren't drilling too much oil then. I don't know, but maybe should have oil. Maybe they don't have. They're in a deficit because they're selling it. Okay, so we can't sell oil. I'm looking to try to sell, instead of selling supplies, I'm trying to, because I don't want to tie up my manufacturing any more than I have to sell supplies, to buy steel. I would much rather. Well, they're in a money deficit. Hungary, maybe they will buy their materials. Okay. No, just one. I know that will only last until they go to war, but with us. And yes, I know they're going to help fight the enemy, but I'm sort of thinking I'm not afraid of whatever Romania or Hungary's going to do. Okay, they look like they could use some rare materials, and they've got some money. Let's see if we can sell them one. No. Not selling them to me, are they? Okay, let's just see South Africa. No. We're exporting crude oil already to them. Okay, and U.S. steel. We will need... see if we can get 30. Build up a stock a bit more. Okay, good. Good. Don't like overly much trading with Yugoslavia, and I'll trade with nationalist Spain once they've defeated the Republicans. I just want them, if I can have them weak now and have the Republicans win, I want that to happen. But once they're there in a fact of life, and because I'm hoping they won't actually join the Axis, then I'll be happy to trade with them. Okay, amphibious warfare equipment. That is good. Doesn't currently open up anything new there. To Marine headquarters I see, but okay, aerial mines, which there's a whole war and counter war with mine warfare, including aerial mines. Basically, aerial mines are just mines dropped from the air that, instead of pushed off the back of a ship, pushed off the back of a submarine. But they had to be set to, yeah, I'll do that. Continue with the same theme. Submarine torpedoes advanced, okay. Good. We want to stop that. And let's see. Well, let's go with that. Well, we're doing fairly well. Let's improve pilot training. Okay, now we're at a positive, which is good. Now we're still at a positive money. Germany's still trying to figure out what it's doing here. This AI is smart enough to go in and hold this border, Slovakia, but okay, small fuel tank research. Let's improve our light bombers. I know Poland is still sort of shuffling things around. Well, wait a minute. That, see here, this looks like almost a sensible strategy here. That they're trying to form a line along here. Now, if they withdraw all of that from up there and form this line here, man, it's not doing it. I know I'm harsh on the thing, but I don't know if you caught my post and this last developer's diary. I know some people may be watching this a year from now, so they've already seen this, but it's already been out. But I posted that to oh boy, Steel Volt, the current primary on the AI for Hearts of Iron 4, that he has a incredibly important job with incredibly big responsibilities, because if Hearts of Iron 4 is a super great game and the AI sucks, the game's gonna suck, meaning no matter how good, because even if, unless, you know, virtually every significant country, because it's okay, so what if Bulgaria is AI, you know, is AI and it's idiotic, but to the fun and outcome of the game. But if unless you're going to get every major country a human player, the AI sucks, then it's going to be a no good game. Kind of thing. And so on his shoulders, I said, is a lot of responsibility, and I wished him well. Because you know, it's something like Poland here is doomed. It is. And actually a lot of times it's because of, like, at least with Hearts of Iron 3 here, actually sometimes it can take longer than it did historically, but okay, now that moves that goes there, and let's do that to try to get more of the units upgraded. You know, let's also do this a little bit. I'm just sitting here and I'm going to start art production and move all these down there, because I want more convoys ready. Okay, paratrooper activation. Good. Now we can have the Paras. Let's see. So I'm okay. Well, let's do that. And I just have to wonder, why is the AI bothering to defend this border with Slovakia? And oh, let's leave a huge opening here, though I do like that they've... It's a victory point. Yeah, I do like that at least they've manned that, but I don't understand why they're putting a force there. Is there ICs or something? Yeah, okay. Why they're picking... Because doing... Oh, okay.
But why aren't they defending here? Doing this type of stuff does make a little bit of sense. You know, just holding the... You'll lose in the end, but you're going to lose in the end anyways, but just holding the valuable airplane radios. Holding the valuable territory is useful. Why aren't we getting this? Oh, we're not at war. We're the Allies. We need to be at war. Tank radio. Or improve that more, and it's too soon. How interesting. Different plane from a different country. Let's do that. We're pushing it by about 30 days, so... No, we're not going to do that now. Why you're still at war with the Republicans. Afterwards, we'll see about dealing with the realities of the world then. But right now, we're hoping to have some friends. Okay, what's this? Another rolling artillery barrage, please. Because we want to get to that superior firepower as soon as we can. Probably should have been pushing a little earlier. Okay, motorized support units, that's nice. And yes, we want to stop that. Yeah, well, we'll look at that one. Look at that one. On bombers. Bombing site. No, it's avionics, yeah. That was one of them. Of course, it's one of them. It's gotta be. And that Uruguay is... Okay, well, fine. Even if you joined the Allies, I don't think they're going to help us much. I wish you would, but... Hey, twin-engine bomb bags. Now let's do light anti-aircraft. I think we're going to have a Navy that's going to be strong enough to always, as long as we, operate in significant force to always defeat the German Navy. We are going to be doing some of these as anti-submarine type smaller patrols. What I think we may have to worry about, of course, is Germany's air power attacking us. So, the anti-air will help with that, of course. Okay, we'll improve our reconnaissance capabilities. This is just a bit, because obviously I keep talking about it, but playing as Germany, I just normally see this gap here. I'm used to seeing that. Don't know why that has a lower priority. Here we have a gap because of the marshes that are just some of these just you can't move through, so that I understand. So, but like this, trying to understand this. There's no victory points up there. There's no, other than simply, hey, this is the border, let's put troops on it. There's no resources, probably very little manpower. So maybe you would stick a garrison on Wheelo there. But then you should come over here to, like, you know, these two, Gorndo and whatever, Lida. And shift a bunch of those forces down there if you're worrying about Soviets. Put forces there, because why defend it when you can walk around through there? Move your armor unit somewhere else. So it's only light armor, but it's still armor unit. And then set up a defensive line down here. You could, at least that would make some sense. Okay. Single engine armament research. Okay, so we're up there. Now we can do that. And infantry support tank. Yeah, I decided to improve the Matilda design. Let's also do that. Oh, we gotta... I don't know if we're ever going to catch up on this. Upgrades. Now here this makes sense for France. Now, see, of course, you're dealing with a different thing in France in that they have enough units. And I'm really glad to see that even though Belgium, and I presume there's some sort of special coding here, Belgium is an allied country, they are expecting the possibility of an invasion through here, so that they're at least putting some level of defense. But then I don't know why here is defended. Okay, I know I'm bitching and moaning. Nothing else to do. Industrial efficiency and industrial production have advanced, which is great, in which we're going to let rock and roll continue on. We'll just get better. Better. And nav ground crew. We're improving pilot training. That's fighter ground crew. Yeah, no, I'm not angry about everything. You're always downcast, but just watching it here, seeing what's going on. Okay, we have another fighter. Let's give it to this group here. That'll give us a reasonable interceptor squadron. I don't think this is holding enough territories for when the end comes to have a Republican victory. If they're still holding Madrid, I'm pretty sure they would get it. Maybe if they were holding Baragos and not holding Madrid, they still might get a victory. But Deep battle doctrine. Now let's do Blitzkrieg. Our observer ships are still feeding us a little bit of information. Oh yes, we want to do that. It'll help us out. Party rally! Yay! Have the conservative leader speak. Yay. What are we doing with intelligence? Okay, Germany, we got 9 spies, 10 in Japan, 9 in the US. They're just doing mostly tech stealing there. Okay, transport coal, that's nice. No. Now we'll let it go. Let's add that to the destroyer flotilla there. Let's get rid of that one. So now we are releasing those convoys. Got those going. Okay, we need. Let's see. I want to do 2 more fighters. Now, Italy is still neutral, in the sense it's not joined a faction yet. No, not yet, not yet. Once you win, okay, but until you do. I'm still in a positive. Supply. Oh, we gotta produce more supplies. Oh, wait a minute, I hit the wrong damn button. Ah! Okay, well, let's see. Back down. Let's try that. Uh-oh. I wanted more money. Yeah, that's alright. Levels, okay, Special Forces branch. So that, I don't want that button. not yet able to do some of these. Okay. Gotta improve my small arms. And infiltration tactics. Has that maxed them out yet? Yeah, okay. So we're only a little bit in the deficit there, research-wise. Okay, well this episode's gone long enough. I actually lost track of time a little bit. Just playing and having fun. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. I do appreciate it. Please post your comments. I want to hear from you. See you next time.